Hello and welcome to Real World Fitness. My name's John Limpus and today we're lucky enough to have Sam Felton with us. Hi Sam.
Hey John, how you doing?
Very good, how are you?
Awesome, really good.
Good stuff. Now Sam is actually one of East London's leading fat loss specialists and he is a founder of Smash Training. Now they run specific fat loss boot camps called Smash the Fat Boot Camps and they're very, very, very popular in East London. Today, Sam and I are going to be talking about basically this topic that we came up with was whether strategy or willpower which one of those is most important when it comes to fat loss. Now, I contacted you about a week ago, didn't I, Sam?
Yeah, that's right.
And what were we going to talk about originally?
It was just going to be top 5 fat loss mindset secrets.
Okay, so. Well, we were going to talk about that, and basically, Sam, I said, write down your top 5, Sam. I'll write down mine. Email them to me. So basically, I emailed mine to Sam. He emailed me his, and we thought they were going to be quite similar, but actually, we realised we were coming at it from totally different angles. Sam was coming very much from a kind of willpower, motivation kind of angle, and I was coming at it very much from a strategy angle. Now. I've definitely used a lot of the tools that Sam was talking about in the past, and I believe in them massively. But it was interesting that what I was talking about was very much strategy focused rather than so much on the willpower. And it made me think, what is the most important? If you had to choose one thing that was the most important thing, would it be a willpower thing or would it be a strategy tool? And so we thought we'd have a debate about this today, Sam. So.
Yeah.
Basically, in your experience, Sam, what kind of tell me just initially why you kind of lent firstly more towards, I suppose, the willpower kind of stuff. Why do you think that's so important with the clients you train?
I really do feel as though people tend to limit themselves quite a bit whenever I chat to people about goal setting and things like that. So it might be just half a stone.
Right.
And then when you sort of delve a little deeper, they start talking about, actually I would like to lose 2 stone, but I'm not sure if I can do it. And so that leads me on to getting people to increase their self-belief. And that's really how I sort of led myself to there.
Would you say that was quite a, when you're looking at the most important things that are going to determine whether that person is going to be successful on their kind of fat loss journey, would you say that one of the big things you're looking for is a massive, massive amount of a big dream, I suppose? Is that one of the big things you look for or you try and create?
Yeah, definitely. Like in my email to you, I put in, my number one thing was thinking big. You really need to think big and in terms of setting a big goal, because that's really going to give you that determination and long-term motivation to actually get to the end, and then actually get something that you actually want. Because when people do sort of set that, I'll just lose a few pounds, then when they get there, they sort of settle for that and don't feel that they can go on even further.
It's interesting because this is the reason I come sometimes more from a strategy point of view, because I think that a lot of people, although they won't openly say it, they won't say, I want to lose 2 stone or 3 stone. That's largely because they could be quite shy and conservative and don't want to come across as unrealistic. They're trying to protect themselves. A lot of the people I come across have tried to lose weight before, have tried to have the big dream, and it's kind of whittled it down to a smaller dream that they feel more manageable, and especially when they're becoming accountable to a personal trainer. They think, if I say big, then I'm going to be smashed up, and basically so they try and protect themselves. I think belief, in my experience, most people are fairly motivated when they come, and actually belief is a bigger issue. They're thinking, I'd like that, there's no doubt about it, I definitely want that, but wanting it means that I might actually have to have it, and there could be some belief issues there. So I know you touched on that in your email as well, that belief you thought was a big factor as well. Do you think that?
Yeah, it's probably, I just put in an email, I think that it's the most determinant factor as well. And self-belief is such a big issue in people today. And when I deal with self-belief, I talk about firstly dealing with the forgiveness of yourself, forgiving yourself for the past mistakes that you've made up to this point. And as soon as you let all of those mistakes go, then you can carry on from there, because the past actions are who you were and your future actions are who you're going to be. So it's important to sort of forgive yourself from there.
This is it. This comes back to, and there is a kind of like a paradox here, isn't there? Because basically I'm hugely into willpower, driving yourself forward, but I'm massively into strategy. And I find that a lot of people, I don't know anyone who is overweight who isn't motivated to lose weight. But I do know lots of people who are overweight, who are motivated to lose weight, but have got strategies that are hopeless. And because of that, they're destined to fail because their strategies are so poor. And because their strategies are poor, then suddenly it starts to affect their motivation. If they had better strategies, that's basically my argument a lot of the time, is that I think the motivation is there, and they'll try lots of things. They'll try Weight Watchers. They'll try strategies that are probably appropriate for their friends, but maybe not appropriate for them. So that's why my angle on strategies, I tend to think that they motivate themselves to get to me, and my job is to not give them more motivation, but to get the most out of that motivation so they actually succeed. And when you succeed, you get more motivated. So
yeah, definitely. One thing that I put down was tracking results, because I mean it's all good and well having the big dream and everything, but what you need to do is to make that a SMART goal. So specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. So making sure that you've actually set a plan, set that strategy up into manageable chunks. So if you do say 2 to 3 stone, it's not going to happen overnight, is it? So what you need to do, you need to split that big goal into small manageable chunks, and then you track the results from there, and that's where you get the motivation from as well. Exactly.
So in many essence, that's why for me, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I think strategy, I don't know, I do think strategy is more important than willpower. I don't think it's more important. I think it's easy. I think willpower is easier than strategy, and that's why people don't work so hard on the strategy, because it's easy to get yourself psyched up. Just open up Heat magazine and look at J-Lo's body or Madonna's body. You're motivated.
That's
for women. So basically, my angle is heavy on strategies. Have you come in?
I really do think that willpower and that mindset is really, really important. And I mean, I know what you're saying with the whole motivation thing. People are motivated, but it just seems to me that if people are really motivated to do it, they go out and do it. But then, I mean, at the same time, you do need good strategies, because it's all good and well practicing as much as you can, but it's never going to happen unless it's perfect practice. Really.
So a lot of the motivation is to implement the strategy. So you actually need, and actually, bizarrely enough, it does actually come round circle, because I think I've seen a lot of clients who say they're really motivated. I'm definitely right. This is the year. I'm definitely changing things. I'm definitely not going to do X, Y, Z. Nothing's going to stop me now. And then you ask them to write down what they're eating for 5 days, which is a good strategy for identifying the truth rather than what you think is going on, actually what is going on. And suddenly they're too busy. They forgot that, they lost a piece of paper. They had a really busy day and forgot. So for me, it's like they think they're motivated, but actually they're not that motivated. And the truth comes when it comes to actually implementing a strategy that works. And it's not enough motivation. So it depends what's the number one. I suppose you do need a high level of motivation to carry out effective strategies.
Yeah, definitely, and find that correct strategy for you. I mean, we're all different. Not everything works for everyone. But I think, yeah, it's probably a case of finding that balance of finding that willpower, but then having the right strategies in place to keep you motivated. So, I mean, yeah, like working on your self-belief and things, through the things that I just touched on. And then using strategies such as food diaries and craving diaries that I actually use myself.
Oh, okay, they have to write down what they're craving?
Yeah, that's right. So one thing I do is, as well as with the food diary, you write down whenever you crave a food, say like some crisps or chocolate or anything like that, instead of satisfying that need through eating that food, you'd actually just write it down. And so
you write down how many you'd like to eat?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, go into detail and actually put down your feelings about why you crave it.
11 croissants.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a tub of Ben Jerry's for me. And then, you sort of delve into yourself and don't be afraid to delve deep into your feelings, for sure, because that's how you find out how to solve the problem, really.
Interesting. Yeah, no, that is good. So, very good strategy. I like that one. So if you had to choose one, willpower or strategy, if you had either a highly, highly psyched up, motivated client who said they would run through walls for you, or a very clever client who was a thinker and came up with some very clever strategies, like I have a lot of them who go, well, I found this iPhone app, I found this, I've done it this way, da, da, da. Which would you go for?
For the first?
Well, either or. You can either go for which would be your perfect client.
Oh, my perfect client.
Out of those two. Psyched up client, motivated client, or clever client who was thinking about different strategies.
Definitely. I'd prefer the thinker.
Oh, no. So that means strategy is the most important for this little thing. So you go for the thinker.
Yeah, because I mean, a real passion for me is getting people to, because if he's a real thinker, then their self-belief tends to not be so good, and that means I get to work on that.
Okay, cool. Well, mine would definitely be the thinker. However, it would be as long as the thinker was thinking about solutions and strategies to move themselves forward, not thinking about, what about dairy, what about wheat, asking me a million questions about things that weren't necessarily, if they're thinking about strategies to make things better. I like clients who are thinking, right, I'm thinking of some great dairy-free recipes, rather than I'm thinking of whether it is dairy or whether it's this or whether it's this or whether it's this. You spend your time thinking about the problem or you're thinking about a solution. One's going to take you nearer towards your goal, another one will take you further away. So I would go for that kind of client. But so it does kind of dispel the myth slightly that it's all about just getting psyched up and smashing it, smashing it through. But if people, Sam, have you got a blog and a website?
Yeah, that's right. If you go to www.smashtraining.co.uk, I've got a blog on there and details about my boot camps. And,
great, with more tips like the craving diary and stuff like that.
I mean, I think I've got about 45 YouTube videos on there just discussing all sorts of things from exercise, nutrition and lifestyle advice.
Brilliant. Oh, superb, Sam. Thank you very, very much. Well, look forward to having you on Real World Fitness soon, and we will check out your blog.